Well, an FA-18 Marine fighter jet made a precautionary landing on Midway Atoll this afternoon because of mechanical problems. Now, the pilots landed unhurt in one of many unexpected landings at Midway in the past several years. But as KITV4's Cam Tran reports, the airport may be forced to cut crucial and visitor services because of a budget shortfall.
This FA-18 fighter jet was leaving RIMPAC exercises in Hawaii and heading to its base in Japan when the crew made an unexpected landing at Henderson Airfield in Midway Atoll.
I needed to put down at Midway, not as an emergency, but as a precaution.
Now, as the airport budget faces a $1.2 million budget shortfall, precautionary and emergency landings could be all this secluded airfield in Midway could handle in the future.
We are making people aware that the available funding hasn't kept up with rising costs, and that becomes a matter for Congress to act on.
The Midway Atoll Wildlife Refuge operates the airfield in conglomeration with the Federal Aviation Administration. They depend solely on appropriations from Congress. But Stieglitz says with aviation fuel costs quadrupling in recent years, they are considering cutting flights and tours on the island to save on operational costs.
Those would be visitor services programs, for instance, which is allowing people to come either on chartered or private aircraft and go on natural history or historic tours and so forth.
Those tours could include ones which cater to the historic site of the Battle of Midway and those which study the unique wildlife on the secluded island. Stieglitz says the cuts could go beyond just tourism. Stripping the airport down to its bare-bones operations could affect the residents who live in Midway.
We might be able to cut back the number of flights to Midway, which could have impact on getting important parts and fresh food and other supplies up there. Perhaps cutting back on the number of vessel trips a year to Midway.
Stieglitz says even with the financial troubles, closing the airport is not an option because it's needed for emergency landings and medical evacuations. Unless the funding comes through, the airport could start cutting as early as next year. In the newsroom, Cam Tran, KITV4 News.